Shaw. Today I'm showing y'all how to make smoke bombs. These things are honestly a really easy but pretty fun chemical project. They're not dangerous as long as you're careful, and I feel like anybody could do it. It's pretty easy to make. So I say, let's get right into it. Head on up upstairs to the kitchen and let me show you how it's done. Alright, so there are three main ingredients that go into a smoke bomb. The first, and by far the most important, is this stuff, potassium nitrate. It's basically the thing that burns the sugar. It's called an oxidizer. We need 120 grams of that. Then the next ingredient is pretty easy to find, it's just sugar, and we need 80 grams of that. The third one is the secret to making it have a lot of smoke, and that is baking soda. And we just need a tiny amount of that, just 10 grams of the stuff. And the first thing we gotta do is just mix it all together. I already weighed it all out, so I'm just going to pour it all in to this bowl here. And mix it all up. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It's all just powder, so just mixing it with a big old spoon will get it pretty stirred up. All right, and now I've just got to turn on the heat. You wanna do like a low heat. It doesn't need to go quickly at all. And then make sure your pan's all good and just pour it right on. You want to make sure that it is very evenly spread out, because that way it just will go faster. And then also you'll see how there's some clumps. I just take my spoon, just kind of mash them out. The clumps will make the final product just not cook evenly, so you just kind of want to mash them all out. But also, smoke bombs are very forgiving, so if they're not perfect, that's okay. So yeah, that will take about 20 minutes to cook up. Maybe turn up the heat a tad, but all you gotta do really now is sit and wait. It'll turn very nice golden brown, and then we'll pour it into our can, and that should be good. I might grab a second can, because this is a lot of powder for a small carrier, but should be fine. But first though, while we wait for this to cook, I'm gonna go explain to you how actually this works. So if you'll follow me down to the whiteboard, I'll explain how. Okay, so we know that our mixture has three main ingredients, those being potassium nitrate, sugar, and baking soda. To start off, we're going to ignore the baking soda. We're going to look at the three main things that are making the fire that's making the smoke. First, we have the sugar. This sugar is our fuel. It's the same thing as the logs you put on a fire or the gas you put in our car. It's what we're burning to make the fire. Now the secret is this potassium nitrate. What the potassium nitrate does is that it's this compound, KNO3. It means potassium, nitrogen, and 3 oxygen. Essentially, what happens is this oxygen doesn't really like being with these guys. It would much rather go off away from the potassium and form different compounds. So when it's given a little spark and plenty of fuel, it is very happy to run away from the rest of the potassium and the other molecules. When it runs away from them, it puts off a ton of energy. This is called an oxidation reaction, because the oxygen is escaping the reaction. And oxygen is highly flammable, so it burns away. And then the extra oxygen in the air around it also burns, the same way you need oxygen for a fire. Now, the secret is the baking soda. Without the baking soda or the sodium bicarbonate, that's what baking soda is, this reaction would make one really big fire for a second and then go out quickly. The baking soda slows down the reaction. So instead of getting one huge fire, we get a big fire over a longer period of time, so lots more smoke comes out. And that's really all there is to it. It's a pretty simple thing, but I think I can smell those sugar burns, so we should probably get back up there and make them smoke bombs. All right, looks like we are back just in time to go ahead and start stirring this around. You can see where the heat's already starting to caramelize the sugar. And we just gotta make sure that none of it burns, but it all cooks pretty evenly. Because if part of it burns really badly, but the other part doesn't get cooked very well at all, it's not going to be a very good product. Right now it's all clumpy, but eventually this whole thing will melt. and we'll get ourselves a nice little product. Just gotta make sure it keeps getting stirred up though. That way it doesn't burn. So yeah, now the sugar is starting to melt much more. We're getting pretty close to this thing being fully melted down. And boom, there we go. That is about ready right there. So now I'm going to quickly take that off the heat, transfer it right there. And now all that's left is to take this hot gooey mess and stick it into our can. And no crazy process here or anything. You literally just scoop up the mixture we've got and stick it down in on the can. It is pretty hot, so we gotta be careful not to burn ourselves. But other than that, now see, look, it just did it right there. Yeah, the only bad part about doing it in a can is that the can does get pretty hot. But, you know, what can you do? I'm actually gonna grab a little dish rag to hold it. There we go. And the can had plenty of room too, so it doesn't look like I'm gonna need my little overflow canisters either. But yeah, I'll just get all this in here and then we'll head on outside. And boom, here we go. I've got it set up on this stone so it doesn't burn the grass, and I've got a slow-mo video going, and I say we just go ahead and light it. Yeah, that's it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching all the way to the end. I know it was a bit of a long one, but I just want to say thank y'all for watching. I really enjoy making these videos, and so I'm glad y'all enjoy watching them too. And I also want to say thank you for all the comments and messages y'all left me last time, because I really enjoy reading those too. So other than that, until next time, see y'all.